Welcome to our 2024 presidential election coverage. It's Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris, and we're here to break down who's leading in the latest polls. We'll take you through the numbers from all 50 states. Stay tuned for our full state-by-state analysis to keep you informed on this high-stakes showdown. Let's dive in. Nebraska. In Nebraska, Donald Trump leads with 55% of the vote, while Kamala Harris has 40%, giving Trump a 15-point advantage in the state. Nebraska District 2. In Nebraska's 2nd District, Kamala Harris is ahead with 54% compared to Trump's 42%, giving Harris a 12-point lead in this district. Texas. In Texas, Donald Trump is leading with 51% of the vote, while Kamala Harris has 45%, giving Trump a 6-point edge in this key state. Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, Kamala Harris holds a narrow lead with 48% of the vote compared to Trump's 47%, showing a slight 1-point advantage for Harris. Alaska. In Alaska, Donald Trump leads with 51% of the vote, while Kamala Harris has 43%, giving Trump an 8-point lead in the state. Arizona. In Arizona, Donald Trump holds a slight lead with 49% of the vote to Harris's 47%, giving Trump a narrow 2-point advantage. Georgia. In Georgia, Donald Trump leads narrowly with 48% of the vote, while Kamala Harris has 47%, giving Trump a slim 1-point lead. Montana. In Montana, Donald Trump holds a commanding lead with 58% of the vote, while Kamala Harris has 40%, giving Trump an 18-point advantage. South Carolina. In South Carolina, Donald Trump leads with 54% of the vote compared to Kamala Harris's 42%, giving Trump a 12-point lead in the state. New Jersey. In New Jersey, Kamala Harris is ahead with 52% of the vote, while Donald Trump has 40%, giving Harris a 12-point advantage in the state. Virginia. In Virginia, Kamala Harris leads with 50% of the vote, while Donald Trump has 41%, giving Harris a 9-point advantage. Michigan. In Michigan, Kamala Harris has a slight lead with 48% compared to Donald Trump's 47%, giving Harris a narrow 1-point advantage. Nevada. Nevada is another close race with Trump at 47.6% and Harris trailing at 47%. Trump holds a slim 0.6% lead here, making it a state to watch. North Carolina. In North Carolina, Donald Trump leads with 49% of the vote compared to Kamala Harris's 48%, giving Trump a narrow 1-point edge. Pennsylvania. In Pennsylvania, both Donald Trump and Kamala Harris are tied with 48% of the vote, making it a key battleground state. Maryland. In Maryland, Kamala Harris leads strongly with 61% of the vote, while Donald Trump has 33%, giving Harris a 28-point lead. New Hampshire. In New Hampshire, Kamala Harris leads with 50% of the vote compared to Trump's 44%, giving Harris a 6-point advantage. Ohio. In Ohio, Donald Trump is ahead with 51% of the vote, while Kamala Harris has 45%, giving Trump a 6-point lead in the state. South Dakota. In South Dakota, Donald Trump has a commanding lead with 61% of the vote, while Kamala Harris has 34%, giving Trump a 27-point advantage. Florida. In Florida, Donald Trump leads with 51% of the vote, while Kamala Harris has 44%, giving Trump a 7-point lead in this key state. Maine. In Maine, Kamala Harris leads with 48% of the vote, while Donald Trump has 41%, giving Harris a 7-point advantage. Maine District 1. In Maine's 1st District, Kamala Harris leads with 56% compared to Trump's 33%, giving Harris a 23-point lead in this district. Maine District 2. In Maine's 2nd District, Donald Trump leads with 49%, while Kamala Harris has 40%, giving Trump a 9-point advantage. New York. In New York, Kamala Harris leads with 56% of the vote compared to Trump's 40%, giving Harris a 16-point advantage. New Mexico. In New Mexico, Kamala Harris is ahead with 50% of the vote, while Donald Trump has 43%, giving Harris a 7-point lead. Oregon. In Oregon, Kamala Harris leads with 53% of the vote, while Donald Trump has 41%, giving Harris a 12-point advantage. In Washington, Kamala Harris holds a strong lead with 56% of the vote, while Donald Trump has 36%, giving Harris a 20-point advantage. In California, Kamala Harris leads with 59% of the vote, while Donald Trump has 34%, giving Harris a 25-point advantage. In Minnesota, Kamala Harris leads with 50% of the vote compared to Trump's 43%, giving Harris a 7-point advantage. In Utah, Donald Trump leads with 54% of the vote, while Kamala Harris has 38%, giving Trump a 16-point advantage. In Massachusetts, Kamala Harris holds a commanding lead with 61% of the vote compared to Trump's 32%, showing a clear Democratic advantage with Harris leading by 29%. In Tennessee, Donald Trump leads with 56% of the vote, while Kamala Harris has 35%, giving Trump a 21-point lead. In Iowa, Donald Trump leads with 49% of the vote, while Kamala Harris has 44%, giving Trump a 5-point advantage. In North Dakota, Donald Trump has a strong lead with 59% of the vote, while Kamala Harris has 32%, giving Trump a 27-point lead. In Indiana, Donald Trump leads with 56% of the vote compared to Kamala Harris's 40%, giving Trump a 16-point advantage. In Delaware, Kamala Harris leads with 55% of the vote, while Donald Trump has 37%, giving Harris an 18-point lead. In Colorado, Kamala Harris leads with 53% of the vote, while Donald Trump has 42%, giving Harris an 11-point lead. In Connecticut, Kamala Harris holds a lead with 57% of the vote compared to Trump's 41%, giving Harris a 16-point advantage. In Rhode Island, Kamala Harris leads with 57% of the vote, while Donald Trump has 41%, giving Harris a 16-point advantage. In Missouri, Donald Trump leads with 54% of the vote, while Kamala Harris has 42%, giving Trump a 12-point advantage. In Arkansas, Donald Trump leads with 55% of the vote, while Kamala Harris has 40%, giving Trump a 15-point advantage. In Oklahoma, Donald Trump leads with 56% of the vote compared to Kamala Harris's 40%, giving Trump a 16-point lead. In West Virginia, Donald Trump leads with 61% of the vote, while Kamala Harris has 34%, giving Trump a 27-point lead. In Vermont, Kamala Harris holds a strong lead with 71% of the vote, while Donald Trump has 29%, giving Harris a 42-point advantage. In Hawaii, Kamala Harris leads with 58% of the vote, while Donald Trump has 36%, giving Harris a 22-point lead. In Idaho, Donald Trump leads with 60% of the vote, while Kamala Harris has 34%, giving Trump a 26-point lead. In Illinois, Kamala Harris leads with 55% of the vote, while Donald Trump has 40%, giving Harris a 15-point advantage. In Kansas, Donald Trump leads with 55% of the vote, while Kamala Harris has 39%, giving Trump a 16-point lead. In Kentucky, Donald Trump leads with 62% of the vote, while Kamala Harris has 32%, giving Trump a commanding 30-point advantage. In Louisiana, Donald Trump leads with 59% of the vote, compared to Kamala Harris's 37%, giving Trump a 22-point lead. In Mississippi, Donald Trump has a strong lead with 61% of the vote, while Kamala Harris has 34%, giving Trump a 27-point advantage. In Wyoming, Donald Trump leads with 65% of the vote, while Kamala Harris has 28%, giving Trump a 37-point advantage. That wraps up our deep dive into the 2024 presidential election landscape. From coast to coast, we've explored the numbers and the stories shaping this historic race between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. The path to victory is still evolving, and each state plays a critical role in determining the next leader of the country. As we count down to Election Day, stay tuned for updates, insights, and all the twists and turns that make this race one to remember. Thanks for joining us, and remember, every vote counts.